Paddly diddly frienderinos. So today, I just wanted to share a little something. I guess we could call it compartmentalization or preferences. Thinking certain outward things, certain outward successes that we must attain or achieve to become whole and complete, to perceive ourselves as worthy, valuable, and valuable, and accepted. So, when we're looking at a rose has many stages, from a very small seed to stem to bloom to death to decay. And typically, we'll have a preference of wanting the rose to be in full bloom, which is a beautiful thing, but it's not all it is. And when we pick and choose certain aspects of a whole thing, we ignore and neglect the beauty, all of the beauty. We are picking and choosing parts of something but not accepting it for its entirety, including ourselves. And we have these rules and these stories based upon when it's allowable for us to completely own and accept ourselves and to think we've made it. We've made it into a person worthy of love and admiration and acceptance. So I kind of want to spin the perspective on that. Can you imagine if you loved another person, or loved, let's say, like an animal, like a dog? You loved it on the days where it was filling the requirements that you have created for this other thing, and then other days you don't accept it because it doesn't fit within the construct that you have created for it. So it's always a conditional acceptance. Think about if you accept yourself for what you perceive as success, but then reject yourself when you don't fulfill the expectations you have created. That's a very rocky, unbalanced relationship with things outside in life and within ourselves. If I'm only accepting myself some of the time for some stories I've created, the other parts of me are like, what the hell? Like, I'm beautiful and I have so much to offer, but you're choosing not to see this. And that's a painful, unbalanced relationship that is not one that's rooted in harmony and growth. It's one rooted in selectivity, delusion, assumption, and ignorance. It, you know, the reasons we think this way, there's a million, especially in our culture and society, where we reward certain outward successes and appearances, and then we have collectively agreed upon them. So we can begin to look inside ourselves and see what agreements and contracts have we gone along with just because it seems to be what everyone else is doing, and really question, does it work for you as an individual? And if you're only accepting yourself some of the time for some of the things that you feel are valuable, you are literally ignoring, disconnected, and detached from a whole world of beauty you haven't allowed yourself to even experience because you've decided that it's not valuable. And that brings so much suffering. It's self-denial. It's denial of the truth. I have my truth, you have your truth, and then there's the truth. So we're denying the truth for even a pedestal, not a pedestal, for even a space to be felt and be held. We don't even allow the space because we want the rose in bloom as opposed to a stem. And seeing that as conscious and aware, that's kind of sad, and that kind of hurts. And I think it's delusional. And it's having preference is okay, but we can't discard the whole. We can't just take the toe and leave the foot. You know? We can't just take the hand but leave the arm. This is all part of the same thing. And often we think we know what something should be based upon so many different reasons. And to not muddy ourselves up with figuring out the reasons why, we don't need to, but just to begin to step into maybe unfamiliar, uncomfortable places that will allow us to make a decision from feeling and awareness rather than our words and stories and friends and family. The right thing to do. Well, what's the right thing you feel? And what's the feeling that encompasses and embraces love and acceptance of the whole? Because I tell you, when you do that, when you start to embrace the whole, a whole new world opens up that you didn't see before, that you couldn't feel before. Expansion, vitality, vibrance. But how would we ever know if we live a life ignoring and denying that? So it's okay to be uncomfortable. Discomfort is change in motion, and it's uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. And what is dissolving, the old self, is kind of panicking, rightfully so, because it's like, what the hell? Everything that's familiar, everything that's comfortable is going away. I'm dying. Panic, danger. Ego goes nuts because it's trying to keep you safe. It's trying to help. Send that ego love, but see it for what it is. And you don't have to have it figured out. Just be where you're at. And once you allow yourself to be where you're at without conditions and judgments, you're going to begin to feel the power within that. Not just the power we superimpose over certain selective processes. So I hope you have a wonderful day today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm extremely happy to be making these videos and just sharing stuff off the top of my head, and I'm overcoming my fears of thinking I'm not prepared enough. Who am I to speak of this stuff? I should wait longer until I have more credentials. All this bullshit. And it's total garbage. It's all within the mind. It's all within me not accepting myself as I am and not trusting that I am perfect, whole, and complete. And if I operate under that old one, it's always going to be tomorrow. It's always going to be tomorrow. And we live in a world of fear where we restrict and don't allow ourselves to blossom and bloom. And we haven't even seen our blossom and bloom. We're being so selective about being a stem. Anyways, lots of love. Thank you.